impossible. Our great Nigeria is very impossible. And useful. Obedient and useful. Our great Nigeria is possible. Our great Nigeria is very possible. For better infrastructure, for better life, yeah, my people. For better roads, yeah, for better hospitals and health, yeah. For lights today, for everything to work for us, for Nigeria. Yeah. No more hunger. Obi for better Nigeria. Obedient and useful. Obi, obedient and useful. Obi, oh yeah, Obi, Let me cut your joy, let me cut it there, and let me hold it off a little while. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mazes, okay? And this is Njenje Media TV. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. It has been a while that I have joined us. Obviously, as you all know, the last couple of days, weeks has been, it's been a really busy week now, but we are getting there. Please do let me know where you are joining me from. Do, by all means, let me know where you are joining me from. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. This evening, we are going to look at once more the political landscape. One, we have to start with the the breaking of table. There appears to be a table breakage between Governor Ortom and Governor Wike regarding the rough fight that they do have with Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Also, we would review and look at why the United States of America have called upon their citizens to be very careful, especially in Abuja, and also are evacuating some non-essential workers in Abuja. And finally, we will look at the new Naira note, why I think that is a good decision by governor of the central bank, that is MFLU, and also a good decision from President Muhammadu Buhari. In as much as I know, despite whatever they do, they have taken us from top to bottom. That is their signature, but that doesn't mean that whenever something, it might consider the opinion. I don't know what your opinion is. If by the time I finish my presentation, if we still have time, I would want to hear from you. Let me actually know if you think that is a good idea or if you think that is nothing but something that is not needed and something that is not necessary. Be that as may, we would start at this moment, but no matter what, just be rest assured that no matter which decision they've taken, I saw the statistics this morning where they say from what we have borrowed and what we spend our money on, we spend 83% of our income to service our debt. that is between the month of January 2022 and August 2022. That means we only have 17%. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, you might have seen where I've tweeted that. If you're not following me on Twitter, please, by all means, do go to Twitter and follow me. My handle is at Mazi Ezoke, Maaziezoke. Please go and follow me. I am more active on Twitter than elsewhere. So, people, like I said, because we haven't seen for a very long time, and I have here with me in the house so many of you watching from across the globe. I have Alex Maki is watching from Abuja, and I know that many of you are in the diaspora. Okay, so just let us know where you are watching us from so that we know and we'll have a feel of our audience base. So, people, without further ado, as you all know, I normally want to say Buhari has taken us indeed from
ABC, Nigeria, Nigeria, from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom.
We are going from top to bottom. Security wise, we are going from top to bottom. Empathy wise, anyway, as someone said, why should we even keep repeating this empathy? Because for 7.5 years, the president of Federal Republic of Nigeria has shown zero, zilch, null empathy. If he has shown that, then why bother? So everyone appears not to bother anymore and to say that is it. So let him be that. We have a Facebook user watching us from PH Rivers. Romo Rola, Romo Koro, Romo. I hope Port Harcourt is nice and quiet this evening. We hope there is no anything happening there. So let's see what Ortom, the governor of Benue State, you know, the Rofo fight between him and Wike and Atiku, Atiku's camp and Wike's camp. Ortom is part of Wike's camp. But there is something, you know, I don't know what your views are, but in my considered opinion, there is something that I think that has led to this. I believe this problem regarding the presidential campaign, sorry, regarding the, you know, the where the presidency is coming from in the PDP, I leave that blame squarely to Governor Wike. That's my opinion. That's why we are Republicans. We can air our views in a respectable manner. You know why, in my considered opinion, do I think that Wike is the issue here? Had Wike at the point where, when Peter was in the PDP, had the Wike ever had the spirit of brotherhood, the spirit of fairness, the spirit of equity, had Wike had that spirit, he wouldn't have used money to bamboos and do what he did. Had Wike said, okay, it is the turn of the Southeast, let us yield this to them. Southeast did same when it was the turn of Goodluck Jonathan. Southeast gave Goodluck Jonathan massive support, more than his own people. When it was payback time, had Wike done the same, he would not be in this mess. But there is a challenge sometimes that those in the political field, or Wike as an actor in the political field, may not see it coming. If he continues in this trajectory, there comes a point, if he doesn't pull back, he will be sucked in, that he will become totally irrelevant. I'm telling you honestly. But before I continue with that, let's look at what Governor
to me when he came to meet me in Benue State that he sorry. We have over 2 million IDPs. Have Atiku ever visited any IDP?
So, you see, not me saying that. Has Atiku ever visited any IDP? And the people behind him chorused no. What is he driving to?
PeterObi came and visited IDPs. PeterObi.
Now, in my language, this is what I call shot fired. It is now better for you to fill in the gap. Fill in the gap as to what he is about to say next. I do not have any idea, but he just made a simple comparison and a simple analogy that PeterObi came and showed empathy. And it appears actually that the same PeterObi is leading all of them in their noses and is dragging them. He is the one that in 2012, when this flood happened 10 years ago, he took interest and he went everywhere within the state. He led from the front, not like the general we have today, who said that if you elect him, he was going to lead from the front. But when he came to leading, he went into the other room. No one knows what he is doing in the other room. When the time came for him to lead, he went into the other room. But in 2012, he led from the front. In 2022, sadly, another flood. He is leading from the front. Many of you have shown and voiced your concern that he took canoe without a life jacket. You're not alone. Myself too. And I believe His Excellency, if he is listening, he must know that Nigerians are concerned that he should go and please. This is not about shishiness and shishiless. Please go and get life jacket. Life jacket, if you don't have one, even those of you watching now, we can contribute money and buy you one. I beg. You're no longer your property. You now become the property of Nigerians. Those the downtrodden, those on the street, those under the bridge, those that their houses are submerged underwater. You have become their property. They owe you now. You no longer own yourself. Respectfully, sir. So, on another angle regarding Ortom, this is what Ortom said.
But before we get to those response and back and forth, it appears there is yet another blow for the Atiku Abubakar and the PDP presidential campaign. Another PDP governor has threatened votes of the PDP with another allegations leveled against the former vice president, Atiku Abubakar. This time around, it's coming from the governor of Benue State, Samuel Ortom. Governor Ortom has alleged that the PDP presidential candidate, Mr. Atiku Abubakar, may be working with the leadership of Miyetti Allah Kautal to profile him for public hate over his comment. Both at the Kaduna Arewa Forum and the statement Atiku issued over the killing of 36 persons in Beji community of Ukum local government area of Benue State. The governor alleged that Mr. Atiku does not regard him in any way or enough in the scheme of things, and have accused him of picking his presidential campaign council from the state without his input. Hence, on the day of voting, his people will vote as those who have not been consulted. Take a listen to Governor Ortom.
I was the one that, unfortunately, our presidential candidate profiled, and it will appear to me that he is working with Miyetti Allah, because that is the same language that Miyetti Allah were saying about me. I have never profiled any Fulani man. I have always qualified anytime I call Fulanis. These are Fulanis from Niger, from Mali, from Senegal, from Mauritania, from Libya, from Chad, who have come together and said they will take over our country to become their own. And that is why they have displaced our people. And who on earth will say I should not say that? I am the governor of Benue State. More than 2 million people are IDPs. And why should I not talk about those who are my enemies and are killing my people? I remain committed. And whatever I have done, whether the law, whatever we're doing in the state, is fully with the support of Benue people.
That's agreed. That's agreed. I mean, there is no gainsaying in that. But the question remains: are these people from the gospels back and forth? Are they able, in any way, shape, or form, in the nearest future, able to reconcile? If you ask me, considerably, I would say yes, because they are politicians. Politicians will fight, and you would, take them too serious to your own peril. Recall that there was this man called Femi Fani Kayode. When you hear him, the way and manner he spoke about the APC, you will think he will never come there. And Festus Kayamo said something the other day, and I replied him with that picture, with that video. He didn't say anything again. Why? Because truth, they say,
Party
hurts.
which you stood for, and which perhaps some of the stands that you had is giving you this kind of trouble that you're seeing today, is in crisis right now.
Yeah.
Are you sticking with the party?
But of course, the PDP is my party. I will never leave the party.
You're never considering going back to the APC?
I would never. The APC, absolutely out of the question. Until kingdom comes, until Jesus returns, that will never happen. I would never. The APC, absolutely out of the question. I would never. The APC, absolutely out of the question.
So, and some of you are saying to me, Mazi, are you sure that Jesus is not? I just need to check around, because I was thinking if Jesus is already here, Mazi will be the one sitting in fact, I will be sitting beside the one driving the aeroplane, when Jesus comes with his aeroplane, with his aeroplane driving. So I'll be the one sitting beside the aeroplane driver. But I'm not sure, because I cannot see anything, but he said until Jesus come. So I don't know if Jesus is come already. That's made him change his mind. But again, that's politicians. If you understand this on this plank, on this trajectory, you would understand that politicians obviously, say these things. Take them too serious, you have yourself to blame. Many of us don't. Just like when before they do jumpology, they will tell you, oh, party. I wouldn't, some of you say, it's like when a man is making a woman promise in the other room, can go to Akwet and buy him Ankara. You know what I mean? But anyway, that is by the way. So, but that's how politicians behave. Now, that is Ortom on one side. If you move slightly on the other side, you will hear the man himself. As he they pen them, he they sweet us. I have been asking many of you, what shall we do with Wike's band when he leaves office? None of you have come up with a very good cogent answer. Those hype men like this ones here.
The truth of the matter is that if you can't beat them, you join them. Yes, so we can pepper them. I say pepper them. With your designers, you pepper them. I say pepper them.
The ones that hype him with designers and everything. So, give us your idea what you think will happen to this band the moment Wike leaves office, May 29th, 2023. Maybe your suggestion. You may have employment for them, or do they have to relocate, or do they have to be assimilated into the office of the new governor? Some of you are saying that Jesus has come. Wow. But, if you're a believer, if he comes, he will tell you. But he never told me. He hasn't told me. And if he comes, even if, I would know, because I will just evaporate. My clothes, everything will be on the ground, and then I'll just fly away. Fly away, oh, to Zion, fly away, oh. When the morning is over, I will fly away. Oh. That's Bob Marley for you. If I play that song now, they would catch me. So let me take some of your comments. Thank you very much, Peter Udoye. Peter says, "Wie geht's dir? Mir geht's gut, mein guter Freund." Onyenimo. Onyenimo says that the weakest band should be disbanded. Unless and they can become obedient. I think I like this idea. But the problem is that if they become obedient, that the obedient master, the leader of the obedient, I have never seen him dance. So it appears he doesn't dance. It appears he cannot dance. So if he cannot dance, how would that work? Maybe your idea may not eventually pan out well. So Peter Okoye, thank you very much. So please, for many of you, let us converge here. Do me a favor. On Facebook, on YouTube, just click, reduce the screen size, click on like button so that others will know that you like this stream, and also share. Do two things. Let's wait. Click like, share. If you haven't subscribed, please, I beg you, encourage me to come here every day. But when you don't subscribe, you don't, pay tithe. But Onyenimo does. Onyenimo is a good man. He does. He does. And he's my brother that I love. I met him while I was in London, and he turned out he's taller than me. And since that time that I've met Onyenimo, I've been eating beans, trying to grow tall, but it's the only thing that it pollutes the air rather than grow tall like Onyenim. I'm polluting the air. But that's by the way on a lighter note. So Wike, on the other side, has the following to tell Atiku Abubakar.
The presidential candidate's picture, the party chairman, also what are you talking about? What are you talking about? The presidential candidate entered my state and picked members of the presidential council without the whole governor of the state having a contribution.
Now, you see, maybe in governance, in communication, I don't know if I don't know if it's a Nigerian thing, but there are things that are slightly disturbing, and many people do it. These are the words he used. He said, when he entered my state. So Rivers is now Wike's state, Wike's property. That Atiku Abubakar entered his own state. That's one. Two, you then begin to wonder, yes, Atiku Abubakar, had made his decisions. But recall that this same Wike said that he was not interested in the VP. And he started kicking off the moment Atiku Abubakar picked a VP, ignoring him. You see that? So it appears when he lost out, he also wanted to be. But like I said at the beginning, I put this blame squarely on his foot, because if he did not rise up to betray the Southeast, I do not believe for 1 second that what is happening to him now will be happening to him. Call it karma. I don't know. He is aware that Atiku was likely to get that, and that Tamboa was also in the race. He knew that these were northerners, and he knew Abi Nisho, even the PDP chairman, he was one of the brains behind bringing the man, Ayu, to power. So now to come and cry if Ayu is not removed, PDP XYZ will happen. I do not see Atiku bulging on this. Question is, how many votes can Atiku gain from this election? Whether UK likes it or not, even if Wike is in the PDP, Labour Party, as long as the presidential ticket is concerned, would win Rivers. Labour Party will win Delta. I make bold to say that Labour Party will win the whole Southeast and the whole South-South. I make bold to say that. Therefore, Atiku in their own calculation would have thought of what value, with the only exception of finance, helping them to finance that election, of what value else can River State actually give us? Bearing in mind that it's now become very, very unlikely that we are going to win this state. And I've told us many times that it is now time to actually flog PDP in your areas. Many people have supported, many regions have supported PDP since 1999. And by next year, that will be freaking 24 years. And if you have served somebody for 24 years and they think you're not good to be free and to join in the leadership cadre, then you can say to them, do one. And that's what the people in this case is doing. But here is Wike in his usual manner, still, saying whatever he's saying.
Members of the Presidential Council, without the whole governor of the state having a contribution. The presidential candidate entered River State, picked those he wants to pick, without the contribution of the governor. So they said they don't need me to campaign for them. That they don't want River State to campaign for them.
It's as very simple as that. If they do not want you to campaign for them, campaign against them. Simples. No if, no but. They do not want you to campaign for them, campaign against them. You see, so why you bothered everybody?
Will you force yourself? Will you force yourself?
The same thing I say. It is like going into a family. Imagine you watching me now. I walk up to your family and I look at your family picture and I see you and your beautiful wife, your 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 children. Then I say, wow, why am I not in this picture? Brother, you're not in the picture because it is not your family. So if they have rejected you, if it's going to make you to see things differently, by all means do. By all means do. Anyway, but before I leave on this matter of Wike and Emilokon, the Agbados, the Agbado gang and the Emilokonized, the bandits, the Batified, there is this video that I want to share with us. This man from the Southwest exactly x-rayed what led to where we are. And this is what he said in this video is the same thing, though he didn't mention, he talked about the Southwest. He talked about, for equity to reign. But I want to stretch it. I want to extend it to what is happening to Wike in River State. Because there is one thing in life. If by any chance, let's say, if by any chance, not if, when, for instance, you have it that in 2023, PeterObi wins, in 2027, he gets re-elected. 2031, we have another election. And anybody saying that someone from the Southeast shall become president again in 2031, it's just to go and buy 4x4 for that person, because that's not equity. That's not equity. And we must stand for such that when something is wrong, we must all condemn it. But here is this man that made so much sense. Listen to him.
And I'll tell you something else. How can we, since 1999, we had 8 years of Obasanjo. We had, after that, 3 years of Yar'Adua, because people will talk about 6 years of Jonathan. It never happened. Yar'Adua died on the 5th of May, 2010. When did he come in? 2007. He came in on the 29th of May, 2007. So he spent just 23 days short of 3 years. So Jonathan was only there for 5 years. His own 4 years and 1 year of Yar'Adua. So we had 5 years of South. And then he went to the north. And we are now going to have 8 years of Buhari, making 11 years for the north. 11 for the north. 10 by Fikokun. 11 for the north. South, we had 8 of Obasanjo. Southwest, 8 of Obasanjo, plus 8 years of a co-presidency of Oshibadu. And look at it. Number 1 in Nigeria today is who? Fulani. Number 2 is who? Yoruba. Number 3 is who? Lawan. Where is he from? Number 4, Badami Milian, is from where? Number 5, the Chief Justice is from where? Mention 1 to 8, you won't find one Igbo man there. Are we not in the same country? And they are not happy. And we were not happy. Were we happy when they are not June 12th and it was our own son, Abiola? Did we not have some Igbo who teamed up with us? Here in this Ibadan, we had many meetings with them in Adepo. Did you not have Sam Mbakwe? Did you not have a Bicho Ukiwe? Did you not have Oke Muche? The truth is this. If we are going to say Awalotun, then we are not different from the Fulani who have been saying that they have the eternal right to rule forever.
So you've heard him. You know, it is a space that I rarely want to jump into. But at certain point, you find some people who make their arguments so fluid and make them so, so very well that you may wish to share with others so that we can keep sharpening our minds. Yes, competence is, it's the watchword. But at the same time, just like one elder said, that, you need to have a nation first. You build a nation. And in building that nation, you need to consider and look at issues of diversity, because Nigeria is a state that should be called United Nation, because it's coming together of various ethnic nationalities, as some people may wish to describe it. Therefore, paying attention to those fault lines must be noted. Like I said before, when someone from the Southeast governs and afterwards, it will be an aberration. Listen, every region in this country can give you the best. If not for, political exigencies that the politicians only think about themselves. It is an aberration that we have what we have today in the APC. This election would have been quite different if we have looked the way of Professor Yemi Osibanjo. I do not care. I have been saying it. Had he come out, and that, at that level is the person, the light, the level of intellectual workload we should be looking at. In the APC, he was one of the best that could have emerged. But hey, here we are. That as we have gone past that era now. But having said that, that is on that plank, people. So on the other plank, you see that the United States of America are evacuating their non-essential staff from Nigeria. You know why? Last week, I believe that was on Sunday, they issued a statement informing people that they should be very, very careful in and around Abuja. And sadly, since yesterday, people have seen them leaving. And there are statements that they've made calling on the American citizens to evacuate Nigeria. Now, rather than do that in our usual manner, what is the, some of you call them the lying machines. What are they doing? They're rather only attacking America, saying, America, they have shooting in America, and Nigeria has never asked their citizens to leave. So because you have never asked your citizens to leave, as if you ever cared about your citizens, wherever they might be. You don't care about your citizens. You think those that care about their citizens should also just keep quiet? No, those that care about their citizens are not keeping quiet. They are telling their citizens to basically run as fast as they could before things get out of hand. And sadly, sadly, like it or not, America have got some intel that they know and they understand what is likely about to happen. Recall that not many people believed it before the Kuje prison happened. Before the Kuje prison happened, those alarms, alert, or whatever you call them, that was received, those were ignored until the point where there was a prison break and over 600 inmates were let go. Over 600. Just think about it, people. 600 people in a prison were let go. But what did we do? 4 months later, up to today, 4 months later, I'll be 5 months now, not a single soul in Nigeria, outside Nigeria, has been held accountable for that prison invasion. Some people call it prison swap. You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it. But in Nigerian, our usual way, this is what our this is what our Minister of Information, the one that his grandchildren normally asking, Granddad, why do they call you Liar Mohammed? I'm surprised that the grandchild, he didn't actually ask, Granddad, why do they call you Liar
When my
Mohammed?
7-year-old grandson called me and said, Grandpa, tell me the truth. Why do they call you Liar Mohammed?
So the grandson has got something upstairs. But this is what he said.
Terror attacks at the Executive Council meeting presided over by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, well, Lai Mohammed wondered if Nigerians feel safe in the United States with all the senseless killings and school shootings that occur in the country. Let's take a listen.
I want to reassure both citizens, non-Nigerians, Nigerians living in this country, that the security agencies are on top of this matter. It's just like if Nigeria, mission in the US also sends a travel advisory or a warning, Houston, and say, look, don't take your children to school because there could be mass shooting tomorrow. So I don't see anything. I mean, I would think they are right to say their people should go home if they want to. But we as a country have the responsibility to keep up.
Sometimes when these people talk, I don't know if they think that Nigeria only got, many of us only got sawdust in our brains. If you think there is going to be, there are, you have serious concern that's going to affect Nigerians in America. Oh, why won't you say it? But because you don't have any intel. And some of us are saying, oh, America should have given them the intel. Give you what intel? Give you the intel that you go and give to the enemy. Are you not in this country when a presidential advance team, those driving the presidency, those driving Buhari, advance team, who get caught up in a crossfire? Imagine if that was the presidency there and he gets shot. How did they get the advance intel that those there are, that the president is coming? How? El-Rufai said it himself, that they know where these bandits are, they can see them. So which information again? For America, all I'm saying to all of you watching from Abuja tonight, especially those in Abuja, just be very careful, be security conscious. Do not, if you can, go out at night. Please, I beg you. Let it be one of those things you can take away from this conversation this night. Please, if you can, do not move around unnecessarily. Be very security conscious. Pay attention to cars that park around. Pay attention to movement. If you can, if there is any need for a report, do your part. But here it's just like a parable in my in my mother tongue. When the chicken leaves the knife that cut its neck and is now angry with the pot that cooked it. That's King James. The pot that cooked the chicken. But Lai Mohammed, I beg, don't let me para for you. Listen to him more.
Our country safe. The concrete step is that people should stop spreading unverified news. That's what I'm saying. Unverified news.
So Lai Mohammed, the lying machine of the nation, is sitting down here saying that America is spreading unverified news. Please, I wish it doesn't come to pass. But pay attention. What will make America? Look at this. This is a video that someone shared on social media today. Just watch this.
They are living.
So what will make America evacuating her citizens in this manner? You think if there is no tangible threat that they've discovered, that they will be doing this? Do you know the level of frustration that they might have gone through? Why wouldn't they feel frustrated if your president, that 36 states out of 32 states out of 36 states is submerged underwater, he left to South Korea? To date, Nigerians are in pains. Their houses submerged. The rich, the poor, the middle class. The man that should come, pay visit, speak to you, give you hope, provide succor, cares less, flies away and goes to South Korea. And here we have a minister telling us that we are wondering and we are bothered so much. I want you to get the import of this message. Question is, why is America evacuating their citizens? I don't want to wake up tomorrow and say, I told you. I don't want to wake up next week and say, we discussed it here. We said it here. I don't want that to happen. But we must pay attention. Please. Lai Mohammed, Oga Lai Mohammed, let's hear you out. And let's hear maybe Ruben or OG, let's hear either of you out.
You see, look, how many school shootings happen in the US? How many senseless killings happen in the US? Have they been able to predict what is going to happen next? Which school is going to be a victim next? Do Nigerians in the US actually also feel safe? Look, I think you should stop the marketing your own country.
Lai Mohammed says no cause to panic. Let me take another tweet from Olumide, who wrote, debunking the threat of security red alert is not the response. Let the government be proactive. Don't cover image that is already dented. This morning, a Nigerian tabloid carried the news of broad daylight kidnapping in Lagos yesterday. Obtain more information and take action. Dr. Abati.
Okay, we've been on this subject since yesterday.
Yes.
And this morning we had the privilege of a session with Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, who's a specialist in foreign relations. I mean, he made the point, the same point that had been made, that when the Nigerian government is overreacting. While people may say, the Minister of Information is playing his role, as an actor, because the minister will not put down his government, but that it amounts to an overreaction. That if anything, which is a point we had made also previously, the Nigerian government should take the issue seriously, because we live in interesting times, and that in any case, the terror alert is for US citizens and their workers, because in the past we have seen international organizations like the offices of the UN being attacked with very grave consequences. So, and we are in a political season, so it's important for Nigeria to take some of this intelligence seriously, because the Americans, now I'm quoting Professor Akinyemi, have the capacity, the technology. They don't have to be on the ground in Nigeria to have information about what is happening in your country. So they will protect their own citizens, they will protect their own infrastructure, but the information may also be useful to us, given the fact that we don't have access to superior intelligence as they do, or as much coordination among the agencies as the Americans do. But the point about the reaction again, the additional reaction by the Minister of Information of Nigeria, is to look at the reaction of the South Africans. The South African presidency this morning has issued a statement to just say, well, we have received we have taken notice of the alert by the US authorities, and as a government, we will continue to do our best, right? And we assure you that all agencies have been informed. And should there be a threat, either in the Sandton area or anywhere else in South Africa, the South African government, the presidency said, we will be the first to inform you of the imminent threat. So this is the issue. There was no name calling from any government official in South Africa. They just took it, in their stride, and they responded. But here in Nigeria, we have been having contradictory responses. The DSS will say we are ready. The Ministry of Information, that is not in charge of security, would come forward and say, don't they kill people in America too? Are Nigerians safe in America? That kind of reaction, I think, makes light of the intelligence from the Americans.
Yes, I think.
And there are splinter groups all over the continent. So it's not as safe as it used to be any longer. And that's the uprising we're seeing, collapse of governments here and there. And it's only emboldening terrorist group. Look at ISWAP. Look at what they're doing. Look at R1. Look at attacks. I was at a security briefing by a group called Town Talk and Amante. And they were sharing copious details of, these security things, alerts being raised by even the Americans and the likes about increased attacks, and we're going to election period. And also look at South Africa, as regards the fact that it's going through its own economic turmoil, and these are breeding grounds. So what we should do is to understand the times, like the sons of Issachar. When the Bible talks about the sons of Issachar, say they understood the times. So what our security agencies should read the times, and kudos to the DSS. There's a story, yet unconfirmed, but it's coming out of the wires this morning, saying that there was a raid at a certain place and they saw some explosives this morning. Some people are saying, okay, that might be part of the measures going on. The DSS is doing a good job. The police had some drills yesterday. Societal drills, what are even the responses like in the event? And I think Nigerians too, and national organizations should be part of the drills. In the event that there's an outbreak, people need mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. How many Nigerians can perform a CPR as we speak today?
Profile, you're going too far. Let's come down to our reality. You're talking about CPR. Now, DSS replied. DSS in their this said, "Well, we are ready." Were they not ready when what happened in Kuje prison happened? I don't know. I'm not saying they aren't ready. I'm not saying they are. But in all these things happening, rather than concentrate on where the issues are, what the government appears to be interested in doing is to many people who speak truth to power is just to begin to witch hunt them. Many of you will know Ugochukwu, the CUPP spokesperson, the one that uncovered the scam and the thing happening in Imo State with INEC. He's now been threatened. He's gone under, and he released this video.
Going conspiracy to cover the compromise of the voter register. This time around, the Nigerian police is part of it, and that is why you need to share this message in case if the Inspector General of Police is not aware of what is going on. Some INEC staffs have been arraigned before a magistrate court, and what is the offense? They are saying that those INEC staffs were the one who leaked the voter register that was compromised. First of all, the voter register is a public document, not a secret document. Under Section 19 of the Electoral Act, it has to be publicly displayed, and it was publicly displayed by INEC. But come to think about this, the importation of fake registration to the voter register is a criminal act under the Electoral Act. The Nigerian police, as a law enforcement institution, is supposed to have gone after those behind the Mua magic, arrested and prosecuted them. Now, if the Nigerian police is busy trying to find the source of the leak, then it's very dangerous for our 2023 election preparation. It means that the Nigerian police is part of the people who were involved in the Mua magic. If not, why are you going after the people who are claiming leaked information instead of going after those who compromised the register?
You see, exactly the point he made now is the issue with Nigeria. Someone steals something. You're not interested in catching the thief, but you are interested in saying, how did you know that he stole? Isn't that a WAP and a useless system? Isn't that a system that is not fit for purpose? Someone showed you what they call Omoma magic, how people with burial pictures, dead people with burial poster pictures found themselves into INEC register. A group of people brought that to the public knowledge. Rather than you focus on how that got into the INEC register, you're more concerned about going after the man or the individuals that really exposed that. It's really sickening. Really, really sickening. Really sickening. But again, you hear certain things and you marvel. In Lagos State, they say that opposition political parties are not allowed to raise their billboards. You do it, the allies will do negative justice to it. Now, those that are in the APC, they know this, but they keep quiet. Suddenly, you will wake up, you hear that Festus Keyamo writes that the governor of Edo State allows thugs to remove APC billboard in Edo. If that is true, I condemn it in its entirety. However, on my Twitter space, on my Twitter handle, I questioned Keyamo. Why did you then keep quiet when you heard of what Lagos did? Fairness dictates that it doesn't matter if an individual is your enemy. What you have to do is to be fair to all at all times. One would have expected you as a SAN to stand up and say, no, what happened or happening in Lagos must be condemned. Then others can now join you to say, oh, what is happening in those states should and must be condemned as well, in as much as no matter whether you condemn it or not, it is not right. There must be level playing field for everyone involved. Is Lagos willing and ready to do that? I doubt so much. Even in my own backyard in Imo State, it appears the same thing is happening. Watch.
My billboard, una just stop them from doing campaign. Imo State. I am making this public now. Hope Uzodinma is still pursuing me using IMSA. Hewe Puchala, my billboard. Now they are stopping me. They are stopping me from doing my campaign. Imo State. I am telling the world now. Hope Uzodinma.
Well, now what the man you hear from that amateur video is saying, that they've taken off all his campaign billboards and posters that he placed in Imo State. And now, in this case, he's accusing the APC and accusing the Imo State governor, Hope Uzodinma, for that action. You ask yourself, where is Festus Keyamo in this issue? Why is Festus Keyamo not able to actually go and condemn this? On the screen, you can see that is my Twitter handle at Mazes, okay? Please do, by all means, follow me on Twitter. If you're not following this platform, by all means, click the like button, share this video, and let's have nice conversation. Before I wrap up on this segment, I would want to share with us also, when you hear that leaders ought to be up and doing, and I make no mistake to say that the one we had in the last 7.5 years is not fit for purpose. Yes. How can a man be the minister of the sector now? I don't want to say Minister of Petroleum. Okay. There is so much oil theft. The man who is in charge has never spoken. Oil theft, monumental proportion. He keeps mute. He zips it. Is he aware or is he involved? I don't know. You be the judge. But listen to this.
Executive don't sleep. If not, the whole thing will crumble.
But our own executive is sleeping. Our own executive is not even aware. He's not even aware. And those that are elected and those that were jubilating that everything is fine. Even if I bring him now, if I ring Asorok, I say, okay, Asorok, let me go to Asorok with Benin Air. You know what I mean? With broom in between my legs and I'm flying. If I go to Asorok, I say, okay, Papa, show here. What do you think about the Nigeria you've been governing in the last 7 years? Look at what
the government
he
has failed to do its principal duty of protecting life or property of all beings inside its territory.
No be me talking. So, DSS, if you're listening, go to Asarok and ask him why he said what he said. Not me. Not me. But even in the National Assembly, we have someone who say, okay, Alaji Kazaure, Zoanam, Zo, Megidani Zo. So, how he didn't say the country where it goes since it was 7 years.
Our economic is doing like this. It's doing like this. It's blinking, shaking, blinking.
So, this one, the National Assembly, Alaji Kazaure. That one, if they marry poor wives, if they get them for 35 children. See, our economy is doing like this. Small time we'll collapse. Even if you go for Anisa, you know Anisa, if I go ask my brother self, you
will be a past participant. Yeah. Hey! Ebu agomia. One day we go here. Say yesterday you are a past. So very soon you shall be past. Party. One day, say Atiku.
See, because the economy it go like this, there is no security. Everything is now fat Atiku.
Your crumbling you see is that the head is sick. And when the head is sick, the body will be in trouble. That's our problem.
Yes, so say it loud.
How can 60% of our raw oil be stolen? And 50% of the refined one we have now imported also stolen. Stolen on the field, stolen at the pump.
Yet we have a minister.
Coming election, which I don't believe in anyway. So my own understanding, because of my experience in politics, I am not just a pastor. I have been in the trenches, and I have a clear understanding of what is wrong with this country. Our next priority is not election. Our next priority is rearranging this country. This country must be rearranged. This country is a fraud. It's a lie. Nigeria is a lie. What is called Nigeria died in 1966 when the military shot the gun and suspended the constitution that brought us together. Nigeria was a negotiated country.
So, you hear that? Nigeria was a negotiated country. How do you, and the people are not angry? Some of you write me privately and say, Maz, is enough now, stop talking about that oil. I say, if you understand the amount of oil these people steal, the money that's supposed to be going to a nation goes to just few individuals. And they use that money to buy cars to run you and I over, our moms, our parents, our dads, our siblings, and run them over on the street. God-given natural resources. Sometimes I do think, I have no apologies for my thoughts. Sometimes I do think if I'm with God, Nigeria will wake up tomorrow, oil will dry. Everything oil will. Let us all die if we cannot think. There are countries that don't have oil. They aren't all dead. They survive. But here, you have oil. All you do is to steal. And you have a man that calls himself sent. And he's there. Jesus Christ. It's really sickening, to be honest. It's really, really sickening. Now, I would be concluding with this. And at this point, if you wish to have your own, if you have a point that you want to put across, you're free to join me in the studio. And it's the next point, and my concluding part is the Central Bank of Nigeria have decided that from the 15th of December 2022, there will be new Naira note. I know many people have said, written, cajoled or whatever. I think I hold a different view. Yes, I support that action. I support it for many, many reasons. But before I tell you more reasons why I do, let's listen to the CBN governor.
Level of security situation in the country, the CBN is convinced that the incidence of terrorism and kidnapping will be minimized as access to large volume of money outside the banking system used as source of funds for ransom payments will begin to dry up. Ladies and gentlemen, on the basis of these trends, problems, and facts set out above, and in line with the provisions of Sections 2B, Section 18A, and Section 19 subsection A and B of the CBN Act 2007, the management of the CBN has sought and obtained the approval of President Muhammadu Buhari to redesign, produce, release, and circulate new series of banknotes at 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1000 naira levels. In line with this approval, we have finalized arrangements for the new currency to begin circulation from December 15, 2022, after its launch by President Muhammadu Buhari. The new and existing currencies shall remain legal tender and circulate together until January 31, 2023, when the existing currencies shall cease to be legal tender. Accordingly, all deposit money banks currently holding the existing denominations of the currency may begin returning these banknotes back to the CBN effective immediately. The newly designed currency will be released to the banks in the order of first come, first served basis.
Okay, you hear that? Now, my point, I think it's a good idea. You know, he talked about security, but there are unspoken words. There are things I believe that are part of the reason why this decision was taken. One is that if you look at our Naira, it has multiple colors. It costs more to print, so we need to redesign, get something that is very straightforward. Two, our politicians have basically evacuated the cash, all lumped and kept somewhere, waiting for 2023 to be brought out. For me, that's a master stroke from President Muhammadu Buhari in curtailing vote buying come 2023. You're getting the gist. If we have this, you know, to the point that it will reduce, you know, cash. You can imagine where these people have hoarded in billions. How are they going to take it to the bank? Obviously, there are channels they can use to wash the money, you know, those that deal in high volume of stuff. But imagine the CBN, the FCC, and DSS, if they really want to do their work, what they will now do is to place every single bank deposit of cash over 5 million within this period, starting from today. Because people will now say, okay, this amount we have, I can be depositing 4.5 million, but the you know, bank should be able to aggregate, know that Mazes, okay, that never deposit 100,000 naira in his account daily, suddenly he has, in order not to flag the, you know, raise any alarm, he deposits 4.9 million every single day and over the next 40 something days. It is, in my view, very, very well considered opinion that this is a welcome development. It will help curb the excesses that we see today as regards kidnapping. I mean, if you know, for me, if you want to move trillions, of course, let's move money legitimately through the banks. Why this cash payment, moving cash? And some people who stole our money under before Buhari took over, there were money stolen. They were still in air-conditioned room. You recall the former Yakubu from Kaduna, who had billions stolen. Well, he said it was gift, but that money was in a warehouse, in a rundown environment with air condition, cooling that money. There are so many Yakubus in that sense. There are so many people who have stolen our common patrimony and they have kept it somewhere, waiting for it to cool down. This act is likely to useless those monies. If some of them, if they are maybe buried underground in the sockaway or anywhere, my prayer is that they will never be found until there is no more. The window of receiving those monies are basically closed, so that they and their generations that have stolen our common patrimony should not have anything to benefit from it. That's honestly my candid opinion. Now, at this juncture, if you wish to join me, the link to join has been shared in the comment section. You can click on it and come in and let's hear your view. Maz, he said, what of if they change it to dollar and keep? I don't know. It's they can change it to dollar, but again, bear in mind that we are running short of dollar as well. We are running short of dollar. But there is one thing also. There might be negative. I'm taking a question asked by Udogo, Nwenyinya, right? Okay, he says, Mazi, what if they change it to dollar? Truth to power. Someone is joining me, but please, before you can come in, try as much as possible to connect to your audio, and if possible, put in your, turn on your camera. So, Awin, to your point, of course, they can change it to dollar, but bear in mind, if you're wanting to change 5 billion to dollar, it might be an uphill task because you probably end up mopping all the dollars that we have in Nigeria. Ogbarigwe Victor said those people in power will go on to devalue the country currency and this will be a disaster. Not really. I probably do not share the same view, but it's not impossible. It's in as much as I'm not a Buhari's fan, but I think it's one of those things that probably recall in 1980, I think was it 83, 84, he changed the currency, and here we are again changing the currency. And I think this time around, by all things, the is it polymer or polyester notes, the plasticky currency, the way even the British people changed their currency. Euro has been changed into this type of money. The way we have our 100 naira, 5 naira in Nigeria. So if all currencies are in that kind of material, I do honestly hope. But the challenge here is, I hope this will be printed locally, or are we going to allow that the printing and minting to be done as we normally do, outsource this to other countries to print for us? I hope that it will be a learning curve. So while I'm taking your question, Onyanimo says it's not free to print. Well, yes, Onyanimo, it is not free to print new money, but also it is not free to maintain old money that has been printed. Whether you like it or not, the current materials we have for the 1,500 naira wears off quickly, and the CBN, even the 200 naira. If you know, the 200 naira is what people now throw 500, 1,000 in parties. So if you bear in mind that it collects debts, it tears, and the bank need to rechange them, the only way you can change them is to print another one. You withdraw one in circulation, you print another one. So it's still the cost. Okay. I know that there are costs obviously associated to this, but again, would they ever try to scam Nigerians by over invoicing and inflating the price of printing? Your guess is as good as mine. Nadine Armstrong, watching from, let me take a guess, is that Jamaica? I guess, I don't know. I guess that's Jamaican flag. Oyenimo says, polymer notes, no be pepper notes, yet another scam. When the bill come in, it will. The thing is, the government has failed, in the words of Buhari, the government has failed. That's why there is no confidence in government. There is no confidence. And that's why people keep doubting anything government wants to do. No one thinks, oh, if this is going to really benefit us, or is it going to be something that's going to be difficult for us? But, again, I don't know. I don't know. Keep it coming, your comments, your questions, or if you want to join, you can as well join us by the link that is in the comment section. So let me take another comment. Obakirigwe Victor says this this country called Nigeria is sick in many ways. The country have no plans of doing things, no direction. Changing country currency color is our problem. I think actually I overheard a banker saying that I don't know the rule of thumb, how often countries should actually change their money. Recall that many people go out to print, some of these currencies. So if people print these currencies and there are some, high level fraud happening with them, maybe sometimes they should. It's been like over close to 20 years Nigeria changed anything. So I think it's something that is well, am I even well, I'm just showing my view. I'm not defending the government. I'm neither for or against, but I'm just basically sharing my view on this platform so that it help us to gain better perspectives as to what is happening and the reasoning behind it. Rainbow Water says they all have malams changing for them, or they may transfer the money to another country. No, you can't. That is the thing. You can't transfer the money to another country because it is Naira. You see, you guys don't even understand the danger of Naira or what happens with Naira. When you go to other countries, if you, how do I put it? If you, there, you come to, there are countries, you come with their currencies, you go to your destination, you change dollar or pounds or anything. But Naira, except inside Nigeria, no one is willing to accept your Naira. Your Naira is useless. In the 80s, 84, 85, 82, 81, you could fly into the United Kingdom with your Naira, and you now go to Oxford Street, go to the High Street, and change these monies. But now you can see how we've gone from consumption, from top to bottom. Ewekefe Churchill says, "Good evening, watching from Bayern. Please, why is it that this particular campaign and election time?" I think it's actually okay. Let me say, put it this way. I think actually this change, I believe, will benefit this election and this movement. Those that have brought out money that they stole with bullion van is going to find it funny. They're not going to find it funny. Those that money that they have amassed for so long, stack them somewhere. You think those bullion van bringing those money? You think they finished those money? Some monies were stacked somewhere. This okay. I don't know, but I think it's not going to be too bad as many of us are envisaging. I don't know, but these are my candid opinion. But hey, let's have yours. If you have a different view as regards to this, of course, by all means, let's have yours. Okay, people, that's a very fine place to anchor this evening conversation. For many of you, join us tomorrow evening. We will be bringing you live broadcast from African Fashion Award in the United Kingdom. And Njenje Media now is the official partner to that event for the year 2020. That's where you see the finest African filmmakers and fashion that is happening in the United Kingdom. On that note, everyone, I say thank you very much. I do appreciate you. I love you all. Thank you for being part of this platform. And thank you once more. If you have not subscribed to this platform, I beg you, should I kneel down? Okay, okay. Yes, he said no. Okay. But I beg you, please, 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 click the subscribe button, like, and share. Only 3 things. Subscribe, like, share. That's all. You see, you've done it now. You didn't die. It's free. On that note, I will say to us, for those of you who are obedient, keep being obedient and useful. At the end of the day, victory shall be for the obedient. Good night, everyone, and see you tomorrow. I am Mazi Ezoke, signing off.
Possible. Our great Nigeria is very impossible. And useful. Obedient and useful. Possible. Our great Nigeria is very possible. For better infrastructure, for better life, yeah, my people. For better roads, yeah, for better hospitals and health, yeah. For light today. For everything to work for us, for Nigeria. Yeah. No more hunger. Obi for better Nigeria. Obedient and useful. Obi, yeah. Obi, yeah. Obi, oh yeah, Obi, get it, Hausa man, Yoruba man, Igbo man, Middle Belt, Niger Delta. Let us come together for better Nigeria. Get it, for better life. For better health, yeah. For better road, yeah. From consumption to production,